I'm Nick Walker with your live weather update. We're under winter storm warnings for most of Washington state, across northern Idaho into Montana, southward into western and central Oregon. This in anticipation of the snow that has already begun. We've seen as much as 9 inches in western Washington. Snow expected on the hilltops around San Francisco as we head into Friday. Winter storm watches for that area. Continuing to see the snowfall here around western Washington. We'll find in the Cascade Mountains of both Washington and Oregon as much as 2 feet of snow. Stay tuned. Live weather updates every half hour, or check out weather.com.
Surrounded by a firestorm, vicious winds turn dry countryside into a raging inferno. The wildfire traps both residents and rescuers as they try to escape. Powerful storms and the people who survived them on Storm Stories.
Now, from the Weather Channel, it's Storm Stories.
It's the hot, dry fall of 1991. A raging firestorm rips across the parched hills toward the outskirts of Spokane, Washington.
God, I just don't believe it.
It takes firefighters a week to extinguish the blaze. By then, it's devoured 36,000 acres, destroyed 114 homes, and taken 2 lives. Now, 5 years later, a record drought has once again pushed the risk of fire to the extreme. Last time, area resident Steve Helmke was lucky. He lived outside the fire's range. Steve tries to keep the dry growth around his new house in the West Plains neighborhood under control.
You're constantly cutting to keep it down so that when fire danger era does come, you're prepared for it.
With fire danger at an all-time high, Steve's wife Monica keeps a careful eye out for signs of fire.
We're always concerned about that because end of July and in August, around here, we don't have rain for 2-3 months. You know, we go without any rain at all. So you always have to be cautious.
And then, what they fear most strikes. A fire has started up 5 miles across the valley below. So far, the blaze is contained, sheltered from the wind by another bluff. Jim Hill hopes it stays that way. The Washington State Trooper is on his way to direct traffic around the fire.
I told my wife, this is not a good day because it was hot and wind was blowing. I said, you know, it's a perfect day for a fire.
On his way, Hill meets up with Spokane County Deputy Eric Epperson. They agree to work together.
Well, what do you think?
Fire's moving pretty fast. Initially, it was just started small, keep the onlookers out and keep the roads open so the fire apparatus could get in and get out.
As the police head off, up on the bluff, Steve and his son Julian keep a cautious eye on the smoke billowing over the valley.
We were just sitting, relaxing, when we saw smoke, you know, quite a few miles away at that point.
But down in the valley, as the officers near the fire, they see that it's not staying put. The wind has shifted, and the bluff no longer shelters the fire. The wind pushes the flames through the grasslands and ignites the forest that covers much of the valley.
We really had no idea how big it was until we got up on this little crest of the road and looked back, and it was tremendous.
It was out of control. It was moving at a very fast rate.
And then we knew we had a problem on our hands.
When wind slams into a fire, it forces the flames to tilt forward over the ground. Dried grasses, bushes, and trees, fuel for the fire, are now much closer to the radiant heat and ignite without even coming into direct contact with the fire. The same principle causes fire to spread more quickly if it's running up a slope. Fire moves fastest when wind and sloping terrain coincide. And that's exactly what's happening in the West Plains area. The inferno overwhelms firefighters. Officers Hill and Epperson realize that the blaze is heading across the valley to the Helmke's densely populated neighborhood atop the opposite bluff.
I realized that we're going to have to start evacuating and trying to move ahead of the fire and get people warned.
There were people there that had no idea of how intense the fire was or how fast it was moving. So, you know, we've got to give them a fighting chance.
35-mile-per-hour gusts shoved the fire right toward the side of the bluff. For the Helmke's up top, the situation looks far more desperate now.
The wind was blowing constantly in one particular direction. Fire, it just jumps.
You could see the smoke coming closer and closer, and it was billowing so high in the sky. We knew this is going to be really bad, and it was coming right towards us.
Officers Hill and Epperson reached the neighborhood and split up, going door to door.
Hi, how you doing? Hey, the fire's coming really fast up back behind the hill. You need to get out here.
The urgency was really in his voice. He told us to go in the house and close all the windows and all the doors and get out.
Hill knows time is short. The street is a cul-de-sac on the edge of the bluff. There's only one road out. Down the street, he and Epperson gather the residents in a convoy. They'll try to lead to safety. But Steve is determined to stay and save his home.
He's pretty stubborn. I couldn't do anything to get him to leave.
While Monica gathers a few heirlooms, Julian goes to make one final plea with his father. But this house is Steve's dream.
Something you've put everything into to see it go up in just a heartbeat. You want to keep your property.
Monica and Julian flee to the waiting convoy. But as the group reaches the road out, Epperson, in the lead, realizes it's too late. The fire has cut them off.
The fire jumped the road in front of us, the only way in and the only way out. It had crossed the road and knocked some trees down. I knew then that we were trapped.
At the head of the convoy, Epperson looks for a way out.
I could hear the wind picking up and the velocity, and the smoke just kept getting thicker and thicker. And I knew that the only way we could get out was blocked. Now I'm responsible for 20 other people, and they were trusting me to make the right decision, and wasn't sure what we were going to do at that point in time.
At the back of the convoy, Epperson's colleague, State Trooper Jim Hill.
We were in a bad spot, essentially. And people were panicking and getting scared. Kids were getting scared, and as well they should.
If you got worries, then you're like me. Don't worry now, I won't hurt you. And if you got worries, then you're like me. Don't worry now,
comes to the things you care about, leave nothing to chance. Travelers, insurance for auto and home. Call or click now for an agent or quote.
I love Quaker oatmeal. It's seriously a superfood. If you want to build a healthy heart, it's about being active and it's about putting the right fuel in your body. It's that simple. And here's the good news. It's never too late to start. Quaker oatmeal is proven to help lower cholesterol. It's a staple in my diet. In fact, it's the only cereal I eat. It powers you up and it makes you feel great. Are you eating Quaker for breakfast?
I'm Robert Shapiro. Over 1 million people have discovered how easy it is to use LegalZoom for important legal documents. So start your business, protect your family, launch your dreams. At LegalZoom.com, we put the law on your side.
While others are content to imitate, we'll continue to innovate. The Lexus RX. Why settle for a copy when you can own the original? See your Lexus dealer.
If you've recently signed up for Medicare or will soon, you're starting a whole new journey. And like many people, you're probably wondering, where do I go from here? Consider an AARP Medicare Supplement Insurance Plan insured by United Healthcare Insurance Company. Call now for a free information kit and guide to Medicare to get started. Basically, Medicare only covers about 80% of your Part B medical expenses. The rest is up to you. A Medicare Supplement Insurance Plan helps cover some of those expenses, and that could save you up to thousands of dollars a year in out-of-pocket costs. Plus, you can keep any doctor who accepts Medicare patients. Together with Medicare, an AARP Medicare Supplement Insurance Plan could be the kind of coverage you're looking for. In fact, it could make a world of difference. Call now for your free Medicare guide and information kit about AARP Medicare Supplement Insurance Plans, insured by United Healthcare Insurance Company.
A split second can turn everyday people into extraordinary heroes.
We had to move quickly.
A split second, just enough time to change lives forever. Storm Stories, next on the Weather Channel, primed for excitement.
It's a race to escape a raging 1,000-acre wildfire on the outskirts of Spokane, Washington. Deputy Eric Epperson tries to lead a convoy of residents from the West Plains neighborhood out of danger, but the fire quickly cuts them off. Epperson radios the Sheriff's Department dispatcher, Mags Deerduff.
Sheriff's radio, Mags.
Early 509. We got a whole convoy of about 20 people waiting to get out of here, and we're trapped.
Mags quickly contacts the fire authorities, requesting a plane to drop water or fire retardant right away. But the aircraft are busy doing drops on other parts of the fire. They need time to refill their tanks.
I think she said it was going to be about 5 minutes, and that seemed like an eternity at that point.
The fire is right at the roadside. A sudden blast of wind could push it directly over the convoy. On the other side of town, Epperson's wife, Jo, gets a call from her mother.
She listens to her police scanner. She knows Eric's number and knows his voice, and she finally called me and said, I can hear him on the scanner and he's in a little bit of danger.
Jo's mother places the scanner into the telephone.
I have a degree in law enforcement, but it's totally different when you're on the end of being the wife with all the emotions running. I started getting scared.
The minutes tick by. Hill and Epperson are getting more desperate. Epperson gets back on the radio to Mag.